Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on the offensive side of the ball looking at the Tennessee Titans playbook, and we're going to be in gun bunch quads. Obviously, anytime you have four receivers to one side of the field, just going to make it very, very tough for the defense to match up. Typically, we aren't in bunch formations. We aren't in these meta formations. I say it a lot on these videos. But like I said, man, just having these four eligible receivers to one side of the field, especially in Madden, it's a little bit more, I guess, easy to deal with in real football. But just the adjustments that they give you on the defensive side of the ball in this game, just really doesn't allow you to match up very well with it. So we're going to take advantage of that on the offensive end. And yeah, man, run this out of this Titans playbook. So I'm just going to come out and spot on the offense side of the ball. We'll probably match with nickel, maybe dime, and let's get right out on the field. So we end up matching with dime on the other side of the ball. And of course, like I said, we are starting the spot. And I like to take the RB here, the RB receiver, and I like to streak him, or I'm going to put him on a short cross. But we'll streak him in this scenario, try to get to that middle of the field. There you see the middle of the field is wide open. We will take that. That is, of course, the Jefferson route. Van Jefferson is the guy we are trying to set up on that corner route. Just go to spot. Of course, we are streaking Anamayor there. And then, obviously, Tony Pollard is going to kind of push those zones down the field. The tight end getting to the flat route. And then Jefferson is hopefully what we're trying to dial up. Of course, RB Anamayor is going to be stretching those zones against cover 3 and whatnot. And then Calvin Ridley, obviously, on that big post. There is another play, sail route with, Jefferson running the corner. You have a clear out route and a flat route over there to the right side of the field. But I do like this spot play specifically because it does get Calvin Ridley, the X-icon receiver, and the X-receiver over there involved a little bit more. Helps get to the middle of the field with that big post route. But you can just see here they do drop into like a cover 3 look, and then we are going to take that. We're going to put that RB. We're stretching those zones against cover 3. That's the entire point of this. Here they do give us more of a cover 2 look, so maybe this is one where you want to put him just on the short cross. They actually give us man, and that is going to be the perfect scenario with that. Again, man, really, really tough to match up with that, especially against man. You can break out, break in. Of course, the bunch is very, very tight to the formation, so you can really attack the middle of the field, anything you want. Here, we'll hit the big post route. If you would have throw, that's kind of the rough part with these regs, man. If you had a throwing ability right there, you probably would have been able to fit it in. Here, they do actually rotate to cover 3. That was just odd right there. That was just he kind of stopped running. I don't know if I stopped him right there, but spot either way, really good play. We'll run this one more time, and of course, if they're just going to mesh, they're just weird against man coverage, and sometimes that happens especially with the running back being aligned out wide. If you have kind of a not keen opponent, that kind of stuff can happen. So we'll run it one more time, legitimately, and we did have. See if we can come back to the ball. Trying to come back to the ball. We did have the corner route as well. But again, man, trying to set up the bunch out of the right side of the field with spot, and then pushing it down the field with the running back route, running the streak right there. And then, of course, Calvin Ridley on that backside big old post. Quick break here. Just want to remind you guys that if you are enjoying the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I think something like 75% of you guys that watch the videos regularly are not subscribed to the channel. So go on ahead and just make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you are enjoying. Then you'll be able to see whenever the newest stuff comes out. And I don't want to take away from the video for too long, so let's just get right back into it. Next one we'll go to is bunch trail, and I like to take Van Jefferson, and instead of having him on the corner route, I'm going to put him on a post route. So we're kind of running double post with him and Tony Pollard out there, sending Anamayor through the route first there, and then of course the tight end running that little bit of an angle route as well, and then Calvin Ridley on the Calvin Ridley over there on the left side of the field. If they're going to give us the tight end wide open over the middle of the field, we'll take that every single time. And you can see the spacing there wasn't exactly, maybe not exactly what you want. Van Jefferson not getting out very quickly. So maybe you want to increase his stem route if you're running into that. Here, of course, they are going to blitz us, and we don't get an animation. We are trying to hit that post route down the field. That is obviously what we are trying to set up. Here, I'm just going to leave him right where he is. I mean, if they're going to give you man coverage, we're going to take that every single time. Man coverage is just very, very tough to play against bunches, especially with this whenever you're all spread out in general. Again, man, just playing those leverages and whatnot makes it really, really tough to play that kind of defense. So you're going to see a ton of zone, and then boom, you can see, I believe that's Demario Davis right there. He cut 56. He just fell back. You saw him fall to the middle of the field, try to take away that post, maybe hit the post a few times in the game and whatnot. So then he kind of falls back. They play cover 2. They get depth, and then that leaves the drag wide open. So you can just see, man, a ton of stuff that we're going to be able to do here. Man, I was trying to work that outside. I just lost my mind in the pocket. I don't know what I was doing. But again, man, they did run man coverage out there, so we did have those 2 posts to the right side of the field. See if we can't hit one. And there you can see the post. There's Tony Pollard, running back out there. And unfortunately, that is the only spot you can be out there as a running back. And you can just see this Van Jefferson post kind of makes room. I mean, heck, I could have even thrown Van Jefferson as well into that area. But we end up hitting right on the right between the numbers and the hashes. And you can kind of throw it to him right on the break. Click on, come back, possession catch, and that's going to get you down the field as well. So 2 super nice plays. Kind of work more of the outside there on spot. Here we're sort of working the inside of the field. And boom, man, if they're going to give you that post route, we will take that every single time, and that will be a house call. So that's exactly what we're trying to do, especially if they're going to play man coverage against you. We're going to be able to roast that. Next one we're going to go to here is inside post. And again, man, we can put them on our Y, our tight end here, on a drag. I like to put them on a short cross, gets them a little bit more depth. But again, we're just trying to flood that middle of the field with the Y icon, A icon, and RB. Of course, trying to make the users kind of decipher between those 3 unless they're playing man coverage. But again, if they're playing man coverage, we do have Tony Pollard out there as well. Kind of, you can hit him right on the break. There they go to zone, and that's exactly what we're trying to set up. The RB, a little bit of an angled post, getting into that tender spot. So here, they're going to call man. That's perfectly fine. And of course, they do have a linebacker over there as well. So we'll take that advantage. But a lot of the times, you are going to be able to hit that little curl route against man coverage if you kind of time it up correctly. Here. Oh, wow. Cam Ward. What a play. What a play. There you see 56 kind of frozen in zone. And you can imagine 56 is the user player right here. And you can see, I mean, is he going to run with the shallow cross? Is he going to stay with Van Jefferson on that deep over route? And then he still has the post route coming from that backside guy. Number 5 right here. So pretty decent. You can imagine that being the user that we're highlighting right now. 3 routes running right across his face. Very tough to decipher what he should run with. I mean, this one we actually end up hitting this, of course. So he probably should have ran with that deep crosser. But if he runs with that, then maybe you're able to hit the post and whatnot. So just really a lot of options on this one. And of course, we are trying to bomb the ball down the field. That's kind of the whole idea of this scheme. Boom, and then that's what we're trying to set up. If we're going to give you that angled post route, we are going to take that every single time. But getting down the field is very important in this scheme, obviously. I mean, you're in 5 wide, so you want to be able to get down the field. There, again, just hitting Van Jefferson and picking up a ton of yards down the field. And you're just going to be able to dice up your opponents. As we just kind of continue to run it here, you can just see, man, lot of opportunities to do some good stuff, fitting it right over the linebacker. Of course, he doesn't get an animation, but we'll take that every single time. And like I keep saying, man, we're trying to get this thing down the field. Here, Calvin Ridley. Oh, man. Okay. I was gonna say I thought the linebacker was gonna keep running with the post, but you can just see, man, over and over again, you're gonna be able to hit these down the field, and that's exactly what you want to do. We talk about it whenever we run 2 tight ends or we have a fullback on the field. We want to be able to run the ball in those situations. Obviously, here we're in a 5 wide. We have nobody in the backfield besides the quarterback. We want to be able to chuck the ball down the field in this type of scheme, and that's exactly what we're trying to set up. Last one I have is drag under, and all I'm going to do is take the RB icon receiver and put him on a post route, and you can just see we're really attacking down the field. Van Jefferson on the deep crosser right there with Anamayor coming on the post route, and you can just see very tough to cover. Would have loved to more stop him right in the area right there and just possession catch. But again, man, not having any throwing abilities on your quarterback does make it a little bit tougher. And of course, man, if you do want a little bit more space, you can always extend that route stem a little bit of that post route. And I mean, boom. Tony Pollard's guys is going to get picked off, and we're going to take that every single time right there. And on every single one of these plays, man, we're trying to stress the defense in different ways. Of course, we're going to switch to just a complete wrong formation, but trying to stress the defense in so many ways. We have the outbreaker with Jefferson in spot. Bunch trail, obviously, we're going to be working more in the middle of the field once we get the A icon receiver on that post route. Inside post, again, working in the middle of the field, a little bit deeper down the field, and then drag under as well. And I say this in a lot of these videos too, man. You don't just want to be a robot. Just because I said put RB on a post route on this play doesn't mean you have to do that every single time. If you see that you have an advantage, maybe he's been taking away that inside, you can put him on a corner. You can put him on the shallow cross, whatever the case may be. Even the shallow cross works as well. You can just kind of see he kind of goes through as well and sort of creates like a levels to it over there. But not being a robot, especially in these passing schemes, is very important. I don't know what your opponent is doing on the other side of the ball. I'm not the one playing the game. You are. So if you notice your opponent is playing a lot of cover 2, attack that cover 2, attack that middle of the field. If you notice they're playing cover 3 and their zone drops are only about 10 yards down the field. You know, those flat zone drops are only about 10 or 15 yards. Yeah, go on ahead and run drag under and put RB on the corner route and try to get that, purple route in conflict. Well, if quarterback would have put it on him, you can kind of imagine. But just not being a robot with these passing schemes and attacking what your opponent is actually weak at is just extremely important. But that is pretty much it for me in this one, guys. I hope you did enjoy this one out of the Tennessee book. Always fun to get in 5 wide and just throw the ball all around the yard. This bunch quads is probably something you can live in for a lot of the game if you are making the right reads. Even though there isn't like a run game semblance of this, obviously. I mean, you only have the quarterback in the backfield. But just the areas you can attack. I mean, and we only ran 4 plays. Of course, there's more in this that you can dive even deeper on. But with this scheme, just does a really good job of getting you a base offense you can run for a majority of the game. And if nothing else, you can go to this and pivot to this whenever you're trying to really huck the ball down the field. 2-minute drills, end of the game situations, whatever the case may be. Really nice offense for trying to spread the ball out. And I think that is pretty much all the rambling I need to do at the end, guys. Check out the rest of the channel if you did like this one, the conversational style. Have a ton of schemes going up, different little mini series on the channel and whatnot. Check those out if you did enjoy this one, guys. Obviously, I appreciate all the love on the videos, all the likes, comments, and whatnot. I appreciate every single one of those. And I think that's all I need to get to here at the end of the video. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I hope to see you in the next one. Later.